So in this video we're going to talk about decision making in Python. So decision making is important portion of any programming language. Using that we can decide whether a block of code we should execute or not. So in Python we can use the if statement, which is the backbone of decision making, and also we have the else if and also the else. So first of all, let's just talk about the simple if. So the syntax is, first of all, we have the if statement, and then we can have some condition, and based on the condition we can execute this block of code. So in Python we use indentation to define a block, unlike some other programming languages where we used to have curly braces. So here these 4 spaces before this statement define that this is one block of code. Now inside that block of code we can have multiple lines of code, and all of these belongs to one block of code, which is under this if statement. If the condition is true, then this block of code will be executed. Suppose we have one variable x with the value 15. Now here we can put one condition. If x is greater than 10, then here we can print x is greater than 10. Now if we run this, so you can see here we have the output. Now if the condition is false, so here x is less than 10. So because the condition is false, so this block of code will not be executed. So here you can see we have no output. So here we are saying that if that is true, then execute this. If that is false, then we have not defined what to do. So we can also define that using the else block. So we can have else block. So when the if condition is false, then this block of code will not be executed. Instead, the else block will be executed. So here we can print x is less than 10. So now you can see the condition is false, so the else block should be executed. So here you can see we have the output. Now this way we can use the if else statements. Now suppose in a case where we have multiple conditions like that, so we cannot just use if else. In that case we have to use the else if. So let's now see how we can use the else if, or in short we write that elif. So suppose we have a variable with the value 3. So here we can check if x is equal to 1, then we're gonna print 1. Now this way we can have multiple conditions. So in that case we can use else if. So here we can have the condition. So else if x is equal to 2, then we're gonna print 2. So this way we can have multiple conditions like that. So if the x is 3, then we're gonna print 3. If the x is 4, then we're gonna print 4. If the x is 5, then we're gonna print 5. Now at the end we can have some default block, so we can use the else. So if none of the condition is true, in that case this else part will be executed, and here we can print. So here we can print invalid. So from top to bottom, one by one these conditions will be checked, and whenever one particular condition become true, in that case that block of code will be executed. So here you can see we have the output 3 because this condition is true. So this block of code is executed. Suppose the value of x is 10, in that case none of the condition is true, so in that case it will check. So from top to bottom, one by one all the conditions, and you can see none of the condition is true, so in that case the else block will be executed. So here you can see we have the output invalid. So this is the else if in Python. So let's just talk about nested if statement in Python. So nested if, where we can have one if statement inside another if statement for complex decision making. So suppose we have one mark with the value of 80, we can check if the mark is greater than equal 50. Then inside the if statement we can have another nested if. So here we can have another if, and we can perform additional checks. So here we can check if the mark is greater than equal 90. In that case we're gonna print excellent. Now this nested if statement can have its own else part. We can print good job. Now we can have else part of this if statement. So here we can say else we can print better next time. So whenever the mark is greater than equal 50, then this block of code will be executed where we have additional checks whether the mark is above 90 or not. Based on that, we can execute these two lines of code. But if the mark is not greater than equal 50, in that case we're going to execute this else part. Here we can print better next time. So because this is 80, so this condition is true, but this condition is false. So we're going to execute the else part. So we should see good job on the output. So here you can see we have the output good job. But if we increase this mark and if we make this 95, so now this is above 50, so this condition is true. This condition is also true. So that means we should execute this statement. So you can see we have the output excellent. Now if we make this 40, so because this condition is false, so we should go to the else part of this if statement. So we should execute this else part. So here we have the output better next time. So this way we can use nested if statement in Python. So let's now see how we can use the logical operators to have compound conditions in the if statement. So we can use the logical operators like AND, we can use OR, and also we can use NOT to have a more compound condition. Suppose we have one age of 18 and the boolean is citizen, which is true. So now here we can check if the person is a citizen and the age is greater than equal 18. So in that case we can say that the person is eligible to vote. So here we are checking two conditions using the logical operators. So when both of these conditions are true, in that case we are going to execute this block of code. So because both of them are true, so we should see this output. So here eligible to vote. And also we can use the OR. So if the person is a citizen or the person has the age above or equal to 18, so when one of the condition is true, in that case we are gonna say that the person can have at least one ID card. So let's just make this false. So because this is false and this is true, so one of them is true. Because of this we should see this output. So you can see we can have ID. And also we can use the NOT operator. So if the person is not a citizen, so in that case we can print and we can say that not a citizen, so cannot vote. So we have to change the, so now the person is also underage and also not a citizen. So this block of code will not be executed because both of them are false. Now this will be executed because the person is not a citizen. So here we are using the NOT operator for that. So we should see this output. So here we have the output not a citizen, cannot vote. So this way we can if-else statement for decision making in Python, and also we have the else part of that for multiple conditions, and also we can have the nested if statement for more complex decision making structure. And not just this, we can use the logical operators and or not, and we can have multiple conditions with the if statement. So hope you understand about decision making in Python. See you in the next one. Take care.